EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Today we've got a Week 5 matchup in store here, as it'll be the defending NFC champions, the Philadelphia Eagles, taking on the Los Angeles Rams. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. Play action. Here's Hurts. This short throw caught by Goddard. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
Well, partner, it's pretty simple. One thing you don't want to see defensively, on the very first snap of the game, some guy running free like we just saw there.
Heck of a start for this offense, no doubt. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
63.
A run for the former Seahawk. It's Rashad Penny. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. You talk about this Rams defense. Now they're squarely in the middle of the pack against the run this year, number 16 in the NFL.
I still crack up a little bit after we left our meeting with the defensive coordinator, because I said to you, stop me if you've heard this before. How about him saying, well, first order of business, we got to stop the run. Of course you do. He's got a good unit, but facing the #1 rushing team, they have to stop that in order to have a good performance.
Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Throwing is Hurts. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical it'd be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
2nd and a couple. Off the play fake. Here's Hurts. He'll find Gainwell out of the backfield. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
First drive of the game. We did see this in practice, didn't we? Because they allowed us to stay and watch and see what their opening script would be, even though we don't know the exact play calls. That looks a lot like what we saw them execute, doesn't it?
It really does. And in practice, it wasn't about a lot of big shots on that opening drive. They wanted to put together a series of plays, sustain it. They've done that. The defense now on their heels a little.
That they are. And you know what else is happening now? They're gaining information. They're gaining knowledge about how the defense is planning on playing them. So not only are they being successful on this drive, they're filing things away for future drives in this game.
He showed some tough running, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
From the 5, 2nd and 4. And they'll run it again with Penny. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Penny. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
It looks like they quit hitting the snooze button on their alarm there. Finally a sign of life from this defense. They've been fairly passive on this opening drive. Now able to stand up on first and goal, and they sent that play backwards.
Second and goal, and Penny standing by himself in the backfield. They get it to him running left, and he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Rashad Penny with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are on the board first on the road here in L.A. Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Now this is going to be returned from the back line of the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. On 1st and 10, Bennett. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Evans. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. And the Rams at a disappointing 0-4 through the first month of the year. And they come into this one knowing it's been a while since they've had a W. They have dropped 4 in a row.
Let me tell you, when you go a month, partner, in this league, without a victory, it gets tough to come to work every day. And in addition, you start to wonder about your job security as well.
And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. Another tackle for loss from the interior of that D-line. He had 4 of those last week, partner.
And what you can glean just from the statistics, even if you don't watch the tape, is that he is what we call a one-gap player. Meaning that's all he has responsibility for, which means they want him to get upfield, penetrate to the backfield, make plays. When you're a 2-gap defensive tackle, you've got to cover up too much ground, and all you're trying to do is hold the point of attack. You don't get very many tackles for loss.
The O-line, they better figure a way to plug that gap. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Straight ahead, it's Evans. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Line line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. And Bennett will look to throw. And he'll go underneath here to Evans. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. To throw is Bennett. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're saying right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds.
Here now, 2nd and 4.
Here's Penny on the counter. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Hurts.
And the Rams got him. They bring him down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
Aaron Siposs on to punt as he'll get this one away now.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here for the 1st and 10. The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive.
But not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted.
And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
But no surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick-6.
And it's plays like that one that made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
Here comes the return from the very back of the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive.
And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
But there's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 16 yards is the pickup there, and a first down for L.A. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football for triple option, you've actually called that play.
Here now, 2nd and 9 from the 39-yard line. They'll send a receiver in motion left. Bennett now on 2nd down. Got a man, it's Higbee, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Evans running behind center. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
2nd and 6. Looking to throw here. Bennett. They'll find a man over the middle. Tutu Atwell. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And a missed tackle there as he pushes forward for a gain of 4.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Back to throw, Bennett. And he fires one incomplete.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them off the scoreboard here.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll try to surge ahead with Evans. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Zach Evans with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Rams get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And with a 14-7 lead, they might just be happy to take this thing on into the tunnel. They go play action with Hurts. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up.
defensively, and now it brings up third down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
He's going deep for Brown. And this throw will be intercepted. John Johnson with the INT. And the Rams are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. And then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. You can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
Throwing on first down, Bennett. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Bennett back to the air on second down. And he's got this to Jefferson. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. Marr able to put this one through, and that will do it for this first half. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaunton, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Rams set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail here as we resume play. Now this is going to be returned from the back line of the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Bennett throwing again on 2nd and 10. That's caught left side. It's Higbee, the tight end. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 22 yards there, a first down.
First down from Higbee. And since so many have forgot about him among the league's top tight ends, time to give him his due. He has improved so much across 7 NFL seasons, going from backup to true receiving threat. 72 catches last season. Expect more of the same this one.
Bennett to the air on 1st and 10. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Isaiah Rodgers. Inside the 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Well, Charles, just some visibly frustrated players and coaches on that sideline right now because those halftime adjustments didn't work. The turnover problems continuing here in the second half, and the defense now sitting pretty comfortably as a result of that pick six.
Hey, that's a great observation too, Brandon, because they did make adjustments at halftime. But how about this other group staying a step ahead despite whatever happened in that other locker room? No surprise they're leading. It's appropriate that those defenders got to add to the lead directly.
And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, yeah, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left.
First and 10, here's Bennett. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Now a second and 10. Bennett now to throw.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
That sack courtesy of the effort of Hassan Reddick.
Another nice play there by Reddick. More evidence that sometimes a position change is exactly what a player needs. Totally reinvented as an edge rusher instead of playing linebacker. Second in the NFL with 16 sacks in his first season with the Eagles in 2022.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
So 1 first down on that drive, and that's it. Forced to take the deep shot on 3rd down and couldn't hit it. Now they have to punt this one away.
Here comes the Rams punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Fielded just inside the 30. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Yeah, he'll be stopped at about the 38 after a pickup of 4.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down. Well, everybody was up there ready at the line of scrimmage, CD, but no snap, and the delay of game ensued.
Yeah, and I'm sure their head coach is asking the exact same thing. What's going on out there? Almost like they thought they had more time than actually was on the clock.
Not ideal there. That delay of game backs them up 5 yards, so now they need 7 yards on 3rd down.
Here's Hurts to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Well, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. That's taken on the 25. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return, and they will take over 1st and 10. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. First and 10, here's Bennett. And he rifles one incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Going up top for Kupp. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, when the running game's not working, sometimes you just got to take a few more chances down the field. That's a good effort, but it winds up incomplete.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Bennett. Throw left side complete. That's Evans. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
You know, in boxing, they throw in the towel. In this case, you just kind of wave the white flag, and you think to yourself, if he could just get past that initial wave, he's got a chance to get free. But that screen, it was going nowhere from the start. It forces a 4th down.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Shreds the tackle. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And the Eagles will have it taking over 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Byron Young there on the stop. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
In any event, it happened pretty quickly. I'm not sure he made the right decision on that one. I think if he had it to do over again, he would have found a different target downfield. But he made his decision, and that one's incomplete.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Hurts sets up to throw it. Throw left side is intercepted. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, 3rd quarter, but that not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
19-9. Track 60.
Bennett now. And the throw there going to be incomplete. But the passing windows are just not there. And that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Now look out to the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Rashad Penny. His 10th touchdown of the season, second of the game. And the Eagles will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Here comes the return from the very back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Bennett looking to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Rashad Penny, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Elliott good with a PAT. And they open the lead up now to 25. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Now this is going to be returned from the back line of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Bennett. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception.
Picked off by James Bradbury. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
From the 44-yard line, here's a 2nd and 8.
Again, it's Penny.
And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. 155 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Inside handoff, Penny to the 27-yard line.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now the 3rd-year man. Here's Kenneth Gainwell.
And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
He's got Smith here.
And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a entire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
And the Eagles are going to have a 1st and goal forthcoming as he takes this down to about the 5-yard line.
The running game continues to be a big part of their success here early in the 4th quarter.
And with those types of runs, that tells you they feel very confident in their running game. They feel very strong at this stage of the contest, and they want to keep doing exactly what we saw there, running the ball down their throat.
No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't it?
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal.
From the gun, again to Gainwell.
And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles.
Kenneth Gainwell.
His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Eagles look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
Elliott good on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
Here comes the return from the very back of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
And you hate to see this for them, but they're looking at yet another loss to begin this season. Things really going from bad to worse as they trail here starting this drive 1st and 10 in the 4th quarter.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd and short. Looking to throw. Bennett. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And shoving his way inside the 35. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A. With this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
That's complete to his tight end, Higbee. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to...
And now here's another interception. Darius Slay with a pick. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
170 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. And they will take a knee here. And they'll indeed take a knee.
Great, set.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get?